bags.
What's up, body bags? It's that time of week again for another review. So I watched this last night, Southbound, and I tried to look up on the Body Bags channel if this had been reviewed or not, because I figured it would have, because it was kind of a popular movie when this came out, but you know, I couldn't find a review on it on Body Bags, so I figured, yeah, let's just throw a review up on it. But this came out in 2016, and as far as I know in America, this doesn't have a Blu-ray release, and this was expensive for the longest time. Like, it was available at my Best Buy forever, but it was like 20 bucks all the time, and I think it dropped down to like 14 or something like that, 15, and I think I snatched it up. But yeah, it was only a DVD release here in America for some reason, but I gotta say this was one of my favorite releases of 2016. It's a horror anthology that takes place exclusively like on the highway, and there's some parts of the story where it takes place in other places besides like well, I'll just start from the beginning here. There's like, it opens up with these two they're like robbers. They're driving down the freeway or whatever, and they stop, and you're wondering what's going on with them, and you realize when they're driving they're seeing like these skeleton things just like floating in the air, and it is kinda creepy, but the CGI, you could tell it's CGI, which takes the creepiness kind of out of it, but it is still eerie when you first see them floating in the distance and all that. But so it opens up with that, and then it kind of switches to this girl punk band, and they're driving in this van, and they end up breaking down, and they end up getting a ride from these like weird couple, and they bring him back, and there's that whole scenario. And then they end up getting away, and it leads into this dude, and he's looking for his wife that escaped, or not escaped, but went, you know, ran away and went to these like freeway. And that's one thing about this movie, is all the short segments, they blend together so well. So it is one long story, but it is broken up into different segments to be an anthology. But the way the director and the writer like tangled all the stories together was flawless. Like, it blended in perfectly. I gotta say, all the stories were really entertaining. I thought they were all original, and that's one word I'd give Southbound, is that this is an original horror anthology. To me, it doesn't get any better than this when it comes to modern horror anthologies. I mean, Amicus and all them, they put out classics and Creepshow and all that, so you can't take that away from that. But as far as new modern made in the last few years goes, it has to be the best I've seen. I can't think of anyone that's come out recently that I've enjoyed better than this. I mean, I guess Tales from the Hood and stuff, but that was what, mid-90s. So I mean, you know, the gore in this is really good, the effects are really good, except for the skeleton things in the opening segment. I thought, like I said, CGI was really noticeable. This thing doesn't really have any special features, really. Like, it has a commentary, a few deleted scenes, and a photo gallery. So not much, and it is disappointing I can't get a high-def transfer of this, but the DVD looked good nonetheless, so, I mean, it ain't really no thing there. But I haven't heard of anybody involved in this, and this is put out by the Orchard and Sony. So that is what it is. And I know it is certified fresh from Rotten Tomatoes, but I know this was getting some buzz, and it was popular and gaining some traction when it came out. And I know it was getting really good reviews, so I'm sure most people in the horror community have heard of this. Like I said, I just wanted to throw a review up on Body Bags, make it official. And because like I said, I couldn't find one on there, so I figured, you know, to me, this is I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Like I said, it's a perfect anthology film. It's just the scenery of it. Like, you're hearing I wish, you know, I don't want this thing to go on too long. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who does the Larry Fessenden. I'm actually watching all Larry Fessenden's movies now, so it's weird that's who it is. But Larry Fessenden plays the voice on the radio, kind of not narrating the stories, but kind of segging them into each other, like since the whole thing takes place on the freeway, pretty much everyone's listening to the same radio station, and like when one story happens, then it goes into the next story, and like this dude, when the couple's picking up the girl punk band, you know, this radio station is on the radio, so you're hearing the dude again, so that keeps it all connected. And then he opens the movie, his voice, and then at the end he closes the movie, and it's just it's eerie. It has some creepy moments. It has some pretty funny moments, but you know, like the one word I said, this movie is 100% original. I haven't seen any of it anywhere. The effects, like the last segment where they're trying, where everything comes full circle. I'm not gonna say how or anything like that, but let's just say everything comes full circle. Like they're driving away real quick from this hotel and all the grounds, like basically caving in underneath of them, and it actually looks really good. And last thing I'll say about this, I think this is from some of the creators of VHS. Yeah, from the filmmakers who brought you VHS. And VHS series is a+ series in my book, and the effects of the what I was just talking about with the ground breaking away, it looked really really good, and I think he's the same person who did the effects for that haunted house segment in VHS 1, where they're trying to escape from that haunted house and everything's going crazy and blah blah blah. So basically, that's how I'm going to finish out. 9 out of 10 movie. I mean, it's going to be a modern classic in my book. Like, in my eyes, I'll be shocked if this isn't revered as like a cult classic 20 years down the road or whatever. But yeah, definitely seek this out. Like I said, there isn't a Blu-ray copy in America, so this is the best you're going to get. But but DVD copy is good anyways. But anyways, guys, I'll see you next week for, I think it's Shot on Video week on body bags. Anyways, guys, peace.